Hello, everybody. Let me update F1 this week before we change anything else. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. It is the Northeast Ohio Sports Show with me, Liam. Hunter couldn't make it tonight. It's episode 31. This should be updated to Mexico for F1 below us. There we go, Mexico City Grand Prix. Let's go, guys. It's currently Thursday, October 23rd. Let's go into weather a little bit. Normally we don't talk weather, but we will. It's 43 degrees out right now. Friday, tomorrow, will be 49, low of 39, very cold, rainy. Saturday, 53, low of 37, just partly cloudy. Sunday, sunny, 56, 36. Monday, sunny, 55, 33. First light was at 7:15. Sunrise was at 7:43. Sunset at 6:29. Last light at 6:57 with 10 hours and 46 minutes of daylight. We'll be going into our first topic today. We have some scores above us for the NFL, some scores below us as well. I know the Penguins, who I'm rocking today, are up. Let me look them up. I think they're up 2-0. Maybe 2-1 now. Yep. Oh, they're up 3-1 to Florida. The Pittsburgh Penguins are, with about 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the second. We'll be going into our funny topic, foul ball frenzy. Mets fans battle it out. Let's talk about it. Here's what went down. A routine foul ball sails into the crowd. Cameras catch an older Mets fan tracking it perfectly, glove up, ready to make his moment. But just as he pulls it in, bam! Another fan sitting right next to him reaches over and snatches the ball right out of his hands. Kind of like the issues we have before with adults, with children, adults and other adults. The crowd gasped, the older fan looked stunned, and the internet did what the internet does. It exploded within hours. Clips of a Mets foul ball thief were all over X, TikTok, and ESPN social feeds. Memes, slow motion replays, and even dramatic music edits started rolling in. Some fans called it a simple misunderstanding. Others, they called it a crime against baseball etiquette because if you've ever been to a game, you know there are unspoken rules. You don't fight a kid or a senior for a souvenir. Public reaction to the Mets organizations hasn't commented officially, but fans in the section reportedly booed the grabber until security came by. The older fan got a signed ball later from the stadium staff, a classy move that smoothed things over. Online, obviously some people took sides. That's really it for me. I kind of like, when you're drinking, like we saw with that lady and that young kid a couple months ago, we know people are going to act crazy. So it happens time and time again. People just have to make sure they know how to act. And once again, guys, if you're enjoying the content, drop a like. Please, please, please follow us on social medias if you can. We have our Facebook in the description. Subscribe. And you could also ring the bell below. That helps with notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll be going to the Browns' 7th game against the Dolphins. Penguins scored a minute ago, which I already said 3-1. Judkins' hat trick, defensive dominates, and season reset. The Browns answered the bell in a big way, snapping their skid with a dominant 31-6 wins over the Dolphins. The story is just bigger than a score. Let's roll for the best parts on what's come next. They crushed the Dolphins in a 31-6 win in Week 7 in home and rain and wind. Rookie running back Rashawn Jenkins scored 3 rushing touchdowns, the first Browns running back to do so since 2022. He carried for 25 times for 84 yards. On the defense, the Browns forced 3 interceptions, including one return for a touchdown by Tyson Campbell, and held Miami to the lowest point total this season. Tyreek Hill is hurt on Miami, so that's going to help us, especially for rain and how bad Tua is. Quarterback Dylan Gabriel completed 13 out of 18 passes for 116 yards, affecting game management rather than being flashy, which is always good to see. The trending storylines were kind of what we talked about. Judkins' breakout, delivering a hat trick, changes perceptions. Is he now the cowbell we've been looking for? Kind of been saying that all season, and we've been hoping for that, so good to see him doing it. Defense is back in big business after weeks of offensive-driven losses. The Browns' defense reminded everyone they could dominate. Beginning of the year, they called him some of the best ever, and obviously that wasn't a whole season, so up and down. Gable had a calm start, with nothing being spectacular. He steadied the ship. Veteran expectations shouldn't be high yet, but this was a good step for him. The Miami meltdown, not just a Browns win, but a Dolphins collapse, turnovers, bad weather excuses, but Cleveland made him look all out of sorts. It matters because this kind of win after a 3-game losing streak gives the team breathing room and restores some optimism. The Browns are at 2-5, which is bad. They are far from playoff bound, but momentum matters. With the AFC North and wildcard races looking messy, stringing quality wins now become crucial. The emergence of Judkins and defensive resurgence provide building blocks for a late push, too, even if realistic playoff hopes are still uphill and probably won't happen. Our next matchup is New England next week. We head there. Week 8. Can you keep your energy on the road? I don't know much about New England if they're good anymore. We'll have to see. Judkins in the load. Can he sustain the workload? Running backs often tail off late in the season because of how much they, have to run and their legs, just how much they get hit. Gabriel's consistency. Managing game is fine. Next step, making big plays when needed. Maybe get some more touchdowns. Defensive and big plays. If the Browns face a team with fewer weather excuses, can the defense still dominate? Playoff math at 2-5. The Browns need wins and chaos. A lot of people to lose. They can't just win, but other teams will have to drop. Next up, I'm going to take a sip of my water, and we'll be going into NASCAR. I hope everyone's having a good night. For current NASCAR standings after last week, we'll go first bound. We have Chase Briscoe in first with a win, Danny Hamlin in second with a win, Christopher Bell in third at plus 37, Kyle Larson in fourth at plus 36. Both these guys don't have wins. However, we have 3 Toyotas in the top 3 and then Kyle Larson and Chevy at 4. Cutoff line, 4 drivers to be eliminated after Martinsville, with its October 26th, which will be next weekend. We have William Byron in 5th at minus 36, Joey Logano in 6th at minus 38, Ryan Blaney in 7th at minus 47, Chase Elliott in 8th at minus 62. We really need Blaney to get a win. That would lock him in. Be great to see. And obviously, we kind of talked about Briscoe locking in. Playoff heat cranks and Martinsville's awaits will be the next story topic. The last race recap was the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega. Chase Briscoe crossed the line first after a classic Talladega lap last pass, clinching his spot in the championship for it. There were some key stats. There were 77 lead changes, which good with NASCAR, a lot of lead changes. 27 different driver leading laps, among the highest in NASCAR Cup Series history for a single event. Playoff impact, with Briscoe and Danny Hamlin now locked in, but 2 spots remain for championship 4 heading into the next round. Some championship favorites struggled. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Joe Logano, and Ryan Blaney are in do-for-die mode for Martinsville. What went down, Briscoe's win solidifies his momentum and gives his team breathing room. Short track specialists and playoff hopes are must now win outright at Martinsville, or they rely on others flattering or failing. We know Blaney is good at short tracks, so hopefully he can win here. For Wild Nature, Talladega showed unpredictability is high, and chaos can craft champions there. The next race preview is for Martinsville Speedway. Cup race at Martinsville Speedway this Sunday. It's a classic half-mile paperclip short track where master control and aggression collide. Blaney raced a lot on short tracks and wins a lot on short tracks. What to watch? Can one of the drivers below the cutoff line, Byron, Elliott, Logano, Blaney, get the win and jump into the Final 4? Really hope Blaney can get it. If not, for main 2 slots, go for Christopher Bell or Kyle Larson. I don't want to see it go to Kyle Larson. Short track mastery matters. Passing, braking, and restarts will dominate at Martinsville. Whoever handles tooth and nail racing best will get the edge. Trending storylines for this week is must-win presser. 4 drivers trying to avoid elimination. We've talked a lot about team dynamics, how teams adjust setups from the high-speed Talladega to the tight grinding at Martinsville. Wildcard opportunities if Briscoe and Hamlin safe. The other 4 drivers have nothing to lose, except bold moves, daring pit strategy, and non-traditional winners expected possibly emerging. It would be really nice to see Blaney get a win, but it's all about points at the end too, because we don't know if these other basically 5 drivers will even make it or get a win or be in the top 5, so we can get past them. That's great to see. Once again, we have the F1 below us. We have free practice 1 in Mexico in 17 hours. Hyped to see that. We have our other stats too, which we'll talk about a little bit later. After the USA Texas Grand Prix, we'll be going over standings. First, we got Oscar Piastri at 346. Second, we have Lando Norris at 332. Third, we have Max Verstappen at 306. Fourth, George Russell at 252. 5, Charles Leclerc at 192. 6, Lewis Hamilton at 142. 7th, A.K. Kimi Antonelli at 89. 8th, Alex Albon at 73. 9th, Nico Hulkenberg at 41. 10, Isaac Hadjar at 39. 11th, Carlos Sainz at 38. 12th, Fernando Alonso at 37. 13th, Lance Stroll at 32. Drivers, we have McLaren at first at 678. Mercedes second, 341. Ferrari in third at 334. Red Bull at fourth with 331. Williams fifth, 111. Racing Bull sixth. Aston Martin seventh. Sauber eighth. Haas ninth. Alpine 10th. So we have free practice 1 at 2:30 tomorrow. Free practice 2 at 6 p.m. Both of these are PMs. Free practice 3 Saturday at 1:30. Qualifying Saturday at 5. With a race being Sunday at 4. Mexico City Grand Prix October 24th through 26th. It's via Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Has a lot of baseball fields, soccer fields, and they turn it into a racetrack for this race. So really good to see. It is a 4.304 circuit length. Total distance throughout the race 305.35 kilometers. 71 laps, 17 turns. It's clockwise. Established in 1963. Lap record Sebastian Vettel 2017 at 1 minute 18 seconds. 0.785. It's in Mexico City. The minimum elevation is very high. 2,226 meters for max elevation. 2,029 meters. They need high, actually downforce here because they're so high from sea level. Air is so thin there. I'm going to take a quick sip and then we'll be going about the topics for F1. Once again, I hope everyone's having a great night. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like. So for F1, Verstappen strikes in Texas. He's been winning a lot recently. Mexico's next, and the title race heats up. Last race recap, Texas United States Grand Prix. Max Verstappen delivered a dominant win. Pole position, led every lap, and closed the gap in the championship standings. I believe they call that Triple Crown. For the result, he cut his deficit to Oscar Piastri down to 40 points with only 5 races and 2 sprint races left. For podium, Norris second, Leclerc first. McLaren's Piastri finished ahead at teammate finished behind Lando Norris by a narrow margin, but the big story was Verstappen's resurgence. Also trending, F1 announced U.S. Grand Prix contract Austin has been extended through 2034. Big for America in the sport, and the fact that it's a driver's track. It's a purposely built track, not a street circuit. Verstappen's momentum's back. He's won 4 out of the last 5 races, and his challenge is reignited. Piastri and Lewis and McLaren are still leading the title race, but the margin is thinning. And they'll feel the pressure now. American fans can catch more F1 action stateside and feel the sport growing. Contract extension is a sign. And we also saw that with next year, they won't have F1 TV anymore. It's going to be part of Apple TV. Extra attention for all Mercedes and midfield teams are all chasing breakout performance in the remaining rounds. Next up, Mexico City Grand Prix preview. Mexico City, like I said, at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, a high-altitude, loud, electric venue with big fan culture. Love to see it. Can Verstappen keep the charge going and make up even more ground? The odds favor him right now. McLaren are under pressure. Piastri and Norris might perform to maintain their edge. Rookie debut and team challenges. Several young drivers will get FP1 outings this weekend. We know my boy wearing my hat. Pato O'Ward, IndyCar driver for McLaren, will be driving this weekend. The atmosphere in Mexico City is not just a race, it's a festival of F1, music, street food, and fan culture. Trending topics, like we talked about, Verstappen's comeback story, For McLaren's moment, are they going to hold it together under pressure? A contract extension is good to see. Off-track buzz, rookies, driver moments, team strategies ahead of the shifting regulations in 2026. Fan experience and culture. Mexico City's race is more than speed. It's a spectacle. Really fun to see photos from there. And just all the videos F1 TV does. Once again, don't forget F1 TV and it's just F1 TV is becoming Apple TV. It's going to be a part of Apple TV next year. You can look that up. We're talking about MLB playoffs. October baseball. Who's on, who's gone, and what's next? The big picture of the playoff bracket is set. Both teams have final teams vying for a pennant in the American League. The Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners secure buys. Oh wait, this is way too early. I'm just gonna look up actually who's in right now because that's what I care about. That's what you guys care about. Sorry about that, guys. Quick break. So, on Monday, the Blue Jays beat the Mariners and won the series 4-3. Game 7. They also won the game 4-3. Awesome to see the Blue Jays in the World Series. Both of those teams I would love to see. However, on Friday, that's when we saw the Dodgers swept the Brewers 5-1. They beat the game, and they ended up actually winning, winning the series 4-0. The game they won on Friday, they won 5-1. So, we have tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Fox the first game of the World Series. Dodgers and Blue Jays. Dodgers had 93 wins, 69 losses. Blue Jays had 94 wins, 68 losses. It'll be very good to see. Right now, there's Toronto at +125. Be really interesting to see. Matchup predictor has LA winning at 58.2%. We have Blake Snell pitching for the Dodgers and Trey Savage pitching for Toronto. It'd be interesting to see. Ohtani's just been going off. If they could win, they will win. So now we'll be going to be NHL's second week. The Penguins surging start, Crosby milestone, and what's next? Excited to talk about it. Penguins recorded a 5-1 win over Vancouver Canucks over the last game, extending the winning streak to 3 games and improving to 4-2-0 on the season. In that game, Sidney Crosby hit a milestone, becoming the Penguins' all-time points leader for regular season and the playoffs in franchise history. The team unveiled new fur jerseys during the game, adding some less flair to the season start, and I think they look sweet. They have a little igloo. Trending topics and what's standing out. Crosby milestone is huge for a team in transition. That kind of leadership and legacy moment helps sets the tone. The Penguins' defense and goaltending have shown signs of steadiness early, key in managing games and giving offensive room to breathe. Young players and line combinations, including veteran additions, are starting to gel, especially with a new coach, which is good news for the depth and actually the long view end of a second 3-1 Penguins. The new jerseys and presentation pieces show that the team is trying to build momentum, not just on the ice, but with fan experience around it. They want more fans coming into the games, which is great to see. Penguins respond. It'll be interesting to see how they respond in the next couple of games of all this hype. According to the schedules, they face Canucks again soon. With Crosby carrying a heavy legacy load, we keep producing at a high clip, keep scoring and helping with assists. Special teams, power plays, penalty kill, and goaltending remain key. If they fall in either, tight games will slip away. Blue Jackets on ice. Machoka rising, PK crisis, and alumni night buzz. On last Saturday, the Columbus Blue Jackets pulled off a 3-2 victory over Tampa Bay Lightning at home, which is great to see, with Kirill Marchenko scoring the go-ahead goal with this 1 minute 15 into the third period. Key contributions also from Kent Johnson and Damian Severson, also delivering clutch offense. However, the team is still dealing with a persistent penalty kill issue, sitting last in the league at around 53.3%. They've given up 7 shorthanded goals already. The power play goals against have been a real concern. Against them have been a real concern. Some trending topics for the Blue Jackets. We have Marchenko's breakout for Rising Stars making waves. He's among the NHL top scorers early, and it looks set to take a step forward in gaining national attention. If he keeps at this pace, he could flirt with 40 goals this season. They had alumni night in a tasking tribute for Jackets honor one of the greatest, Cam Atkinson. As part of a franchise 25 anniversary celebration, his legacy still resonates with current players like Zach Werenski, making this both a sentimental and a monumental movement for the team. Could add some motivation for them. And that's actually it for me. I kind of wanted this to be another quick one. If it's just me, I like burning through it. So I hope everyone has a great night. We will be back with our sorry about that, guys. 1 second. Week ahead news show on Monday at 8:30. We'll be back here next week, Thursday, 8:30, for the Northeast Ohio Sports Show. Once again, drop a like, even if you're watching a video on demand. It really helps us out. Turn on the subscribe. Ring that bell if you like the content and want to keep watching. We're going to try to get back a healthy living show here soon. Me and Trevor have just been very busy on the weekends. So hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for stopping by.